name's Paul, and I've come up from Portsmouth today just to be part of this, to have a look at what's going on. I think the only way that you can actually work out and get a feel for the community and the temperature of what's going on is to actually be at an event like this, because we know that the media is going to spin it some other way. They'll probably say there was a few hundred people here, far right, conspiracy theorists. It's clearly not the case. It's really nice to feel the atmosphere here. As you can see, it's very peaceful. I'm here primarily to support the freedom of speech. What we're going through is an absolute tyrannical attack on freedom of speech at every level. Right? And if somebody can't make a documentary, a factual documentary, and release that to the British public without fear of being locked up and falsely imprisoned, then we have a massive problem. Right? And Tommy Robinson has highlighted that amongst many others. So I'm here today really to stand up for free speech, because this is the time, we need to do it now. And there is definitely more energy, more calmness, a much more united front against it. It's great to see people here from all walks of life here, all different creeds. It's a really nice atmosphere, a lot of really, really good, positive people. So I'm glad to be here.
I'm here because I'm very worried about the rise and the ascendancy of the far right, both across Europe and in Britain. And I'm here in particular because I believe that a fascist called Tommy Robinson is using a lot of the anger that people naturally have about the state of the world, but he's blaming the wrong people. He's scapegoating migrants and refugees. They are not the people who cause the crisis, the global crisis of capitalism that we're now witnessing. I'm absolutely opposed to Nazis organising on the street. I know not all of the people that you'll see on those protests are Nazis, but they're led by fascists. And one of the things that should have been done, could we have stopped Hitler? We could have stopped Hitler if we'd recognised early on what he represented, because they will use the call for "we've got our right to speak" in order to gain power and then crush movements like the trade union movement, movements like the Labour Party, socialist organisations, trans rights groups. What does Tommy Robinson want to do? He wants to build an army of fascists who go around beating up refugees and intimidating LGBT activists, etc. in the communities. He hasn't got that right.
Here for the first time and never been to political rallies, and they said there's a feeling of unity in this place. There's a feeling of love and togetherness, a feeling of harmony and peace. It's very unique and we should appreciate it.
I'm Terry Clinton. I'm here to make up the numbers. We're here to let the government know you may have detained Tommy Robinson, but that has not discouraged us from coming here. We're coming here anyway. In fact, we're coming here especially because you've detained Tommy Robinson. We are just hacked off with the government, the government overreach and stuff like this. Government overreaching so much stuff which has gone on over the past 10 years, like COVID. They lied to us about COVID and they hope that we'll just swallow it. We're not. Well, today especially, it's political prisoners, which the government has conned into going into jail in an effort to spread their bullshine to the public that they are doing something about racists and far-right white drunken thugs like me.
So my name's Doug and I'm an activist with the NEU. I think we're here to say that Britain is multicultural and it's going to stay that way. And there are people who want to divide our communities. There are people who want to demonise sections of our communities because of their colour or where they're from or religion or whatever. We're here to say that's not going to happen. I think that the people there, some of them are riled up by the media, which always have a scapegoat. You know, the rich, powerful media aren't going to blame rich, powerful people. So they blame other people, and some of them will be there because they have been riled up by that. But they are being used by fascists who know what they are doing. They're blaming, if you think about our health service would collapse if we didn't have immigration, right? Our health service would collapse, right? They are blaming people who are keeping hospitals running. They are blaming people who are keeping public services running. They have no points, not at all. But people in this country should be angry at the people who make the decisions, the decision makers, the rich and the powerful, who keep resources for themselves but tell us to blame other people around us. So I don't share any of their views. In fact, what they are doing is contributing to making this worse. They want to make people feel afraid. They want people to be scared. Okay, people should be scared of poverty. People should be scared of ill health. They shouldn't be scared of racists and fascists, and that's why we're on the streets, so we're not going to allow it.
I've come at the march today to support Tommy Robinson because I thought what they did yesterday when he was remanded in custody was an outrage. Came today because I'm against the illegal immigrants coming into the country. I think that we've got enough homelessness on our streets. Our schools are already overcrowded, our NHS is at breaking point, and if people want to come here and they want to come here legally, I think that's brilliant. You know, I open arms, I'm not a racist, but I just don't want a lot of illegal immigrants over here, and I don't know who they are, where they come from, and they all seem to be like 15 years old.
I'm here because I'm a revolutionary communist, and I'm here to fight the far right. I'm here because the far right is not an isolated problem. It's not just a defensive struggle. So I'm here because the far right is a symptom of a far deeper problem. The problem that we can see now in Gaza with the massacre, the problem that we can see now next week with the budget, which is going to rain down cuts and austerity on all of the people in Britain, and the same thing that's driving the election of Trump, for example.